Welcome, 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 welcome to you, and everyone, each one of you, welcome. We bring you greetings from the West Angeles Church of God in Christ, where Bishop Charles E. Blake and Mrs. May L. Blake are our pastor and wife, and certainly we invite your attention for the next several moments. You will be blessed, you will be challenged, you will be enriched, and by our show presentation, we are bringing you the Spice of Life variety show, where certainly we just want to add a little spice to your life. Yes. Grab your pen and your paper, because you very well may want to contact our guests at the conclusion of the show. And so we will show you our email, our contact information. And so make sure that you have something to jot that down so that you can contact us if you so choose. Again, welcome, and we love you. I have a guest who I'm honored to be on the stage with and do the show with, a very wonderful, special young woman. I say young because that's what she is, and in the person of Stella Singleton Jones. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing today?
Fine. Look at that smile. A beautiful smile.
Oh, thank you.
And that's apropos, because Stella Singleton, that's S, and so why not keep the S flowing with the smile, huh?
Yes, quite naturally.
Oh, okay. And it's amazing that I can remember the first time that I remember meeting you. We were at a conference.
Yes.
And you were just like this. You had that wonderful smile, very enriching, and you began to share your testimony. Yes. And it was like, wait a minute, did someone switch persons up there? Did someone else run up there? Because that certainly could not still be the same woman who's up there talking. And of course it was you, and you have inspired my life.
Oh, thank you very
much. You really have. I mean, when I think about what I've only know of what you go through and what you have gone through, you inspire my life, because I've never seen you frowning or sickly, or
don't see
depressed, or like the whole world is. I've never seen. This is the demeanor that I always see.
Well, thank you very much.
So now let's not keep the audience waiting any longer. Let's talk about Stella Singleton Jones.
Oh, okay.
You are a woman who is too well familiar with spinal meningitis.
Yes, I am.
What is that?
Spinal meningitis is the fluid that got infected around the membranes that surround the brain and the spinal cord. And it's also airborne like a cold. I suggest anybody, if you have a cold longer than 3 weeks, go to the doctor and have it checked out.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
It's very serious.
That's amazing. Well, how long have you had it?
I was first stricken down with spinal meningitis in May of 1996. I was in a coma for 2.5 weeks. I was totally hospitalized for 3.5 months. I had to learn how to walk and talk all over again. I was just like a little baby.
Really?
I had to just learn everything all over again.
And so really and truly, when one encounters that, it really shuts down your whole ability.
Yes. First, you'll feel like you have the cold symptoms. You have the fever, the achiness. Some people complain about a stiff neck, bad headaches, but in my particular case, I didn't have neither one of those.
Really?
Mine was just a high temperature, and I noticed I couldn't shake the cold off for 3 weeks, so I went to the hospital.
And then that's when they were able to detect?
Yes, they did a spinal tap, and the spinal tap revealed that I had spinal meningitis.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So then it's not hereditary?
No, it's not. It's airborne just like a cold. Anyone can get it. But unfortunately, in my behalf, I was born with a blood deficiency, which is called a complement B6 blood deficiency. So my immune system is already weak.
Okay.
So when I come encounter any kind of infections or viruses or colds, it strikes me down a little faster and harder than the average person. And mine could be really deadly, so when I can't shake anything in 3 days, I have to rush myself to the hospital.
Oh, I see.
And be checked out.
Wow.
Yes.
Anyone else? In your family?
Unfortunately, my brother passed away in 1984. He was 19 years old at that time, and that's when we discovered that he and I both had the blood complement deficiency. My dad was missing 50% of his blood, as well as my mother was missing 50%. So any children they had together got the total 100% blood deficiency missing out of their blood. So we were born that way. So like I said before, any infections, colds, or viruses could be really deadly for us.
That is truly amazing. That's just like, what is it? I know that, I can't think of it now, but it's amazing that your father and your mother would have the same challenge and come together, and now you and your brother have the 100%.
And I asked him, I said, now I know you guys are not too old. I know when you got married, you test your blood. I said, how come they didn't detect it then? And my mom said it's so rare that they didn't even have a test for it at that time. So that's why they never knew. So like I said, we didn't find out until my brother passed, and he was 19 years old.
19.
So for the whole 19 years of both our lives, we never knew we had a blood deficiency.
So now, how long did your brother deal with that prior to his passing?
Yes, he was at Colorado University when he first got ill. He was a football player there, and they were going to play against Ames, Iowa's football team, and they found him passed out in the hotel bathroom, and they rushed him to the hospital, and he was diagnosed at that time after having the spinal tap that he had spinal meningitis, and they also discovered the blood deficiency.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Now what about your son? Does your son?
My son is okay. He has been tested and he's fine. He doesn't have any blood deficiencies at all.
You're proud of your joy, huh?
I am proud of my joy, yes. And by the way, I named my son after my brother.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Honor to my brother, yes.
That is amazing. Yes. That was an awesome honor.
Yes. Yes.
Now it was just you and your brother?
Just both of us. And because of my brother's medical records, it helped my doctor to help heal me. So now, along with his records and my records, we're trying to find a cure for which we had was the deadly one. It was called meningococcal spinal meningitis. Now,
you also share with me that you are the, I don't want to say oldest living, come on, share that with us.
Yes, I'm the oldest living survivor of meningococcal spinal meningitis in the United States. So they're using my medical records to help others. And it was really funny one day. I was going to visit my doctor for a follow-up visit, and I see all these doctors in the elevator, and they're just going on about this case. And I was like, oh, it sounds interesting. And then I heard the doctor say, yes, Stella Singleton. And I looked at him, I said, could you repeat that again? He said, and then he noticed me, and they're not really supposed to be discussing
exactly.
cases.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I said, I'm Stella Singleton. He said, you are? So he shook my hand, and he said, I'm so happy to meet you. We've been discussing your case. We're trying to help others. And I said, oh, okay, thank you.
But that's amazing because they weren't supposed to be.
They weren't supposed to be, but I just say God had it perfect time for them to meet me, and I'm sure they had questions and they wanted to know, so I was right there, so it worked out great for them.
Yeah. And you are a wife, a woman, a wife. What are you?
I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an artist. As a wife, I just celebrated my 8th wedding anniversary just this May. Thank you very much. And I'm a mother to a nice, tall, handsome young man.
Exactly. Very nice young man.
Yes.
I have to agree.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. So as an artist, I'm an artist as far as my doctor wanted me to go back and do something because I told him one day, I said, every time I go outside, I get sick. So why don't I stay inside, and that way I won't get sick. He said, oh, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that, because if you ever go outside, you'll be that much worse off than before. So he said, why don't you go back to school? So I thought about it, and I said, okay, I'm going to go back to school. And I remember originally I went to college for art, so I said, let me go back and see if I have that talent still. And I said, okay, God, we're going to go back and we're going to try this. So I did my first piece, and I said, oh, we still have this skip. Thank you, God. So I've been going strong ever since.
So we're talking about in spite of spinal meningitis. In
yes.
spite of that.
In spite of learning how to walk and talk and move all over again. To tell you how critical I was, if you had a soda can and, you know, at the top you pop open, I couldn't do that. Or if you had a soda bottle and you screwed the top, I couldn't screw it open.
Really?
I can dress myself, I couldn't comb my hair or brush my own teeth, so I was really like a baby.
Isn't that amazing? Right. During the time when you were hospitalized?
When I was hospitalized, yes.
Really?
And the rehab was very difficult for me. I remember they putting me in a wheelchair, and I would roll myself around the hospital. Then they took their wheelchair away and gave me a cane, and I couldn't do that past 2 steps. So finally, I was frustrated, and I remember one lady came in the hospital, and she was a patient there, and she was said, ma'am, she said, you can do it. She encouraged me because I really broke down. I didn't want to try anymore. And so she said, look at me. I was once where you were, and you can get up and you can walk. So, and I said, okay, I'm going to try. And that next day I tried, and I would take 1 step at a time, and each time I would go out, I would take a farther step than before. So it was because of her and all the prayers and God's grace that I was able to get up and start all over again and continue on.
And see, this is why we're doing that show.
Yes.
Because she passed on hope to you.
Yes.
And you took hold of that, and now look at you.
Yes.
You're not walking with a cane,
yes.
or you know, you're functioning perfectly.
Yes.
And because if someone looked at you, they wouldn't even have an idea that anything is wrong with you. What's wrong? This lady is void of any sorrow, any kind of challenge at all, because of how beautiful you have lived your life before us.
Yes.
But this show is enabling you to pass on hope to other people.
Yes, yes. And I would suggest to everyone, be strong within your faith and your will. Every day is going to be a challenge, but tomorrow is never promised. And I would say your loved ones and friends, tell them how you feel about them, because honestly, I was close to death. I had 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot still on the planet, and I realized that tomorrow's never promised. So that's my advice to share with you. Also, keep smiling.
Keep smiling.
And be grateful for what you have. I know that, like I said again, times are difficult, but believe me, tomorrow's never promised.
And we all, each one of us, in each challenge of life that we have, because life has challenges, and more than one, unfortunately. We have to always know that we must take the lemons and add the sugar and make lemonade. We have to sweeten it up, and that's what you're doing in spite of meningitis. You're sweetening up the lemons of life that you have, medically speaking. And so that's just awesome. Now, how best can non-family members help during that time, during the time?
During that time, when I have flare-ups or when I was hospitalized, a lot of them prayed, which was very, very helpful. A lot of them would do the things that I couldn't do any longer, like brush my hair, help dress me. Especially if I'm at home, they would take turns and come see about me, see about my family, and just their support helped me to be strong to make it through it. And I suggest to everyone, I know there's a lot of people that come from other states or by themselves, and if you know that, go over there and be supportive for them, help them, encourage them to get out and do something, because we're here to help one another, bond together, and I think a lot of people forget that, and I just want to pass that on, that we were meant to work with each other, help one another, love one another.
No man is an island, huh?
Thank you.
We can't function independently, all totally by ourselves.
Thank you.
And we do need help.
Yes, we do.
How would you? How has your husband been during the time?
My husband is very, very supportive. When I have my flare-ups, he usually takes over everything, because I'm not conscious of time, dates, or when, especially any finances or cooking or anything like that. So that's when he steps in, along with my son. So they've been very supportive, and I thank God every day for them. And I know it's a challenge for them as well, because I'm sure in the back of their minds, God has kept me here for a reason. I believe my work is not done, but at the same time, we all know that there is a germ or virus out there that will succumb me one day, because like I said before, my immune system is really, really weak. So what we try to do is just do family bonding, attend church, attend to our loved ones, speak what's on our mind as far as how we care and want to help each other, and just enjoy each other's company. That's what life's about.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now let's talk a little bit about your artwork. In spite of spinal meningitis, you are an artist, and
Yes,
I should say
I am
you
a proud one.
Oh my goodness, an outstanding one.
My children, my babies.
Well, why don't you introduce us to your babies and tell us
Okay.
about your babies?
My actual first one is this one called Them Bones.
Okay.
This one just came out of the Long Beach Art Museum, so I'm very proud of this one.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so what?
This is a soapstone.
Okay.
It's one of the softest stones in the stone family to chisel out of, and this is with a walnut base. I call it Them Bones because I noticed this part right here reminds me like of a rib bone. So that's how I came to the conclusion of naming this one.
Okay.
And this one is my very pride and joy. Like I said, this is my first one, and that's what we've done since spinal meningitis.
In spite of it. Now the color blend, that was the original stone
This is
color?
the original color of the stone is just like if you go outside on the pavement, just that gray color.
Okay.
And then once you chisel off the top, you can see all the other colors coming out and forming and stuff.
Oh.
And I still believe as the stone comes out in the fresh air and stuff, I still believe it breathes because I see more of the colors are coming out
Oh.
that weren't there before.
Really?
Yes. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
And these are heavy too.
They're very, very heavy. They're very, very heavy. And that reminds me, I know a lot of people, once they got out of high school or something, got married or whatever, they forgot their loves, their hobbies and stuff. I suggest to everyone, go back to your hobby, go back to your love, because that's your outlook, that's your peace of mind, and that gives you the strength to go on the next day, because you have something that you truly, truly enjoy. So find a hobby.
Now, are you as talented with paint
Yes,
and
I
drawing
am.
as you are with this?
I do paint, I do draw, but I love working with stones a lot better.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I like chiseling.
Okay, so then this was at the Long Beach
Art Museum.
Art Museum.
Yes.
That's a pretty
and
baby.
This is Them Bones.
Them Bones,
This
okay.
one to the left
Okay.
is called Red Gleam. This is an alabaster stone out of a mahogany wood.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So now what
This is the last piece that I made on this one. And this one, unfortunately, broke on me or cracked on me, so I got mad at it and I had to leave it alone for 2 weeks. Then I came back and I said, okay, what are we going to do with you? And this is my end result.
Really? And so the stone actually was larger than
It
that?
was a lot larger and it cracked here at the top part of it.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, so.
And now the little grooves or whatever,
The
you
grooves
did that?
and stuff, yes, I did all this part right here, but if you know the texture, this is just the stone itself. Like you said, you'll be amazed once you chisel off the top cover, all the forms of different colors and how they lay and stuff is really amazing. So I actually didn't know what color this stone was till after I chiseled on it.
So now let me ask you this. The stones have pretty much the same color and you just keep chiseling until you get to a different color, or different stones have different colors?
Different stones have different colors. Sometimes some of the stones' colors do not come out until after you polish them, and then you see more colors come out.
So then, how does one decipher between? I mean, how do you know which color stone you're getting?
Sometimes you're able to break off a piece on the side and you can see what color it is.
Really?
Yes.
So now you have a whole setup at home, like a workshop area?
Yes, I work from home and I work from school.
Really?
Yes.
Now, what about this piece here?
This is called Moonlight. This also is an alabaster stone with a walnut base. And
I mean, and what inspired? What
this
inspires you?
one inspired me because of the colors. I was trying to go with the grain of the stone, and I liked the way the colors were. So I chiseled going along with the. If you notice, you have the different veins in it. So I was chiseling along the veins of the stone. And so that's how I came up with that particular piece. Yes. And this one right here is called Waterfall, and that's on a marble base, and that also is an alabaster stone. And when I saw this stone, I just thought of waterfall. So I was thinking, well, let's make it as supposed as water running down on it.
Really?
Yes.
So how many pieces would you say that you have?
I probably have 10 right now.
Really?
Since September.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
And how long does it take to actually work on it?
Anywhere from 2.5 weeks to 2.5 months.
Really?
Yes.
And so the longer length of time is why? Because of
the size of the stone. If it's a
Okay.
larger stone, it's going to take a longer time to make. If it's a smaller stone, it's going to take less time to make.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, and you were sharing that there's not really a lot of sellers of the various stones.
No, there isn't. There's
Okay.
a few of us out there.
Okay,
Yes.
that is amazing. So now, did your son acquire any of this artistic talent?
No, he's far away from it.
He's far away from it.
Yes.
What about your husband? What does he say about your artwork?
He loves it. They both love it. They're both in the technical world, so
Oh.
they don't want to have anything as far as outside of lifting it and helping me transport it. That's the best they're going to do.
Oh, that's all you're going to get, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so now, what else do you have in mind that you will be creating with your stones?
Right now, I have a design that I have never done before that I want to incorporate light in the stone, where the light will come out and shine in various directions. So I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Really?
Yes.
So what kind of art is this called now?
Abstract art, contemporary art.
Okay, abstract contemporary art. And so what would you say to the parent who notices that their child continuously wants to draw or be creative, but they feel it was a waste of time?
I would tell them to let them be creative, get them into some kind of art program, because that's part of their personality.
Mm-hmm.
And being a creative person, it means they're going to do something very nice in the world with people, bringing people together, or just showing people how to come together, or just inspiring people. And I think that's the best part of creativity.
So now, what does Stella Singleton Jones want to do that she has not done?
I would believe I want to do a sculpture with a little bit of everything: wood, metal, light, glass, gold, silver. I want it to be called the multi-sculpture. So that's my dream.
Really? So
Yes.
how large are we talking?
Probably about 2 feet high.
Really?
Yes.
And so it's going to be like that stew.
Yes. We can just throw everything in the pot and go for it. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Now, for our audience who are experiencing various challenges, medical, whatever the case may be, challenges, what would you, in addition to what you've already said, what would you say to further encourage their heart?
I would say never give up. Go the extra mile, because God's going to bless you with something that you're having the foggiest ideal of what it's going to be, and He's going to bless you in the way that you're going to help others and give Him the glory and praise. So I would inspire everyone, never give up. There's hope for tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow is always a new beginning.
And they didn't think that you were going to survive, did they?
No, they did not. No, they not. And see, I have my new beginning. I'm here just talking with you and sharing with others and doing my artwork. So I found my new beginning. So that should be a testimony for you to say, I'm going to try as well and find my God-gift talent and share with the world. Yes.
Well, certainly I know that this show has to inspire all of us, because it's inspirational to me to know that no matter how bad, no matter how critical, no matter how much it looks like it'll never ever change, you are an example that life does change.
Yes.
So you have, because you went to death's door.
Yes.
I mean, you've been afflicted, and if you're not careful, it flares back up.
Yes.
But you, in spite of spinal meningitis, you are living life full as a mother, wife, woman, artist, and a friend, and sister, and daughter, and all of that. You are really spreading the joy. And so we just want you to be encouraged and to continue going forward. Keep that smile, keep on smiling. Hopefully some of our audience, or many of our audience, or most of you will see another show that we did with Stella, because she has such a wonderful smile, and smiling is a ministry. And so we did another show, Keep On Smiling. That's right. And that's exactly what you've done.
Yes.
Whatever is going on in your life, whatever is going on, this is to our audience, whatever is going on in your life, know that God can help you out of any situation.
Yes.
Things are challenging. Life is challenging. I mean, come on, life is tough.
Yes.
It's intended to be tough, but only the strong will survive. And so, whether it's a medical challenge, financial challenge, relationship challenge, educational challenge, whatever the challenge is, know that there is hope
Yes.
on the other side of that, but you have to press forward and find that, because in spite of whatever's going on, you can have the outcome of life that Stella Jones is experiencing.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you spreading your joy. I appreciate you sharing your inspiration with us, because you have inspired our hearts to say that, you know what, whatever we may be complaining about, we don't live with it like you live with it.
Yes.
And that we can rise to the occasion. And so, bless your children. Pull out the artistic ability, whatever it may be, musically, whatever it may be in their life. Encourage their hearts to continue to go forward. Until next time, know that we love you. We're praying for you. And to God be the glory.
That's right.
Keep on smiling.